back at the film of the Super Bowl, considering your opponent this weekend, just overall, what do you see the differences, and do you have to just remind yourself, like, okay, that's in the past, we got this team to focus on this week?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's with every single game that you play. But this is a really good football team. I mean, there's no way around it. They're good at every aspect on defense and obviously on offense as well. And it's going to take our best football. And so you learn from the mistakes that you make. That's part of playing the game, is you learn from your failures. It's like you learn from the positive things that you do. And you try to come back and play better football this week. And it's going to take our best football to go out there and get a win.
How much did you feel Xavier just going down early really impacted what you guys want to do in that first half last week?
I think it's more just getting guys into the right spots. I mean, obviously you try to rep and give guys opportunities at every single receiver position, but there's limited reps, and so when you have an injury, you have guys going in different spots that they haven't got those reps in before. But I thought the guys did well as the game went on of adjusting to that. Stepping up and making plays, and I thought they did really good in that second half of giving us a chance to go out there and try to get a win.
Patrick, how much on your own did you watch the Super Bowl in the weeks afterwards, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, I watch every game after, so you have to learn from it. I mean, it sucks that you lose the game, but in order to progress and to be better next time, you have to watch it and learn from it. And so I don't know the exact amount of times, but you watch it, and then you watch it in the off season with the team and with the coaches, and then you watch it obviously this week as well. And so they had a great game plan. They played hard and did a great job of disrupting my timing. And so I have to learn from that, find ways to get the ball out of my hand, and then when the opportunities are there, I think that's something I did miss early in the game, is there was opportunities to make plays, and you got to make those plays, because if you don't, they're not going to allow those opportunities again.
And when you're watching, is it just informational, or is it emotional, or in any way, are you just kind of coldly breaking it down, or what's that feel like?
I think it's just more informational. I mean, the emotion kind of happens for about a week after the game, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have failures in this league. It's about how you respond from those failures, and that's something that's important in anyone's career. But for me, I got to continue to push to be even better, so that I don't make those same mistakes whenever I get the opportunity to again.
Patrick, I'm understanding you correctly, based on the early portion of that game, are you trying to get yourself to be more comfortable with, like, maybe exposing some risk, taking some risk, being bolder earlier in games? Obviously, you can't, foresee Xavier's injury occurring, but is that one of the biggest takeaways? It's just being a little bit more bolder earlier in games?
I think just you got to pick and choose the right spots. I mean, I think you can't be too much one way or another, and so finding that right balance of attacking downfield but still keeping the chains moving and not putting the ball in harmful situations is something that's important to every quarterback. And so I think at the end of last year, at certain points, I wasn't taking those chances that I could have, and so I try to do better at that going into this season and try to do better at that this last game. And obviously, I'll keep working with that throughout my career, but it'll be important this week as much as any, because they have good players everywhere on that defense, and so it's about accepting that challenge and going out there and executing at a high level.
Patrick, just assess that level, or that topic in the first game. I know the Chargers, the defense they play, forced some things, but how would you just assess that aspect in that game?
I thought I did a good job for the most part. Obviously, they did good in the first half, missed a couple shots, but once I hit that one to Taekwon down the sideline towards halftime, I thought from then on I did a good job of kind of recognizing when to take shots, when to hit the stuff underneath, and just getting the ball out to guys and letting them make plays. And so just trying to do that faster so that we're not in that deficit. It will be important this week, especially with how they play football and how they can run the ball and throw the ball as well on their side of the football. So being better from the beginning and not just kind of as the game goes on.
How did your offensive line play, you think, as you look back at the tape from the other night?
So they did a good job. It's always tough when you're behind, because the defensive line gets the pass rush and do their games and stunts and stuff like that. But I thought throughout the game they did a really good job against a really good defensive line, and that does a lot of good things. And so they'll continue to get better and better. They're young. They got a lot of experience to kind of gain from that first game, but now they'll have another challenge with a really good defensive line they're facing this week.
I know one of the big themes has been being flat, and how you guys came out flat. How much of it, though, is like, you also weren't effective, right? On either side of the ball, they were kind of getting the better of you. I mean, how much of that emotion comes from being successful, making a big play, getting a guy loose off the edge and sacking the other team's quarterback, or one of your running backs running over three guys? Like, how much of that emotion comes from having plays that work on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But I think in order to be great, you have to be able to bring that emotion when things aren't going well. I mean, anyone can be hyped whenever a big play happens. That's part of life in general. But whenever things not going your way, how are you going to respond? And I think that's important for championship teams, is being able to bring that energy whenever things aren't going your way, because it's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be winning by big scores. It's about responding to that moment and what that moment needs.
Patrick, there was a couple times bringing the energy that maybe didn't look great on TV. You know, Travis and Jawan talked a little bit at the end of the game with Chris and Drew and all that stuff. You guys had a big, long flight back, been in the building now for a couple of days. What's the attitude of the team like right now with a big game ahead of you and kind of?
Yeah, I think guys are ready to go. You know, it's football. It's passionate. We love the game. I'd rather have guys that are passionate about it and want to win than the other way around. And we hold each other accountable. And I think at the end of the day, we know that we love each other, and then when you have that, you can hold each other accountable and then push forward to be even better that next time you step on the football field. And so there's no ill will anywhere. It's just a bunch of guys that want to win and want to do whatever they can to win. And so whenever that happens, sometimes passionate moments, outbursts and stuff happen. But at the end of the day, we love each other, and we're going to push each other to be even better.
Patrick, just also related to the energy, did you come across anything that made you feel like, oh, this is why? I mean, does it add up in any way to you that why it was like that? And also, do you feel the need to speak to it this week to the guys?
No, I think guys understand. I don't know if you can pinpoint one reason or another. At the end of the day, that's in the past now. It's how can you just learn from it and be better the next time. And so we will have that mindset going into practice this week, try to prepare ourselves to play a good football team. And what better challenge than playing the reigning Super Bowl champions to see where we're at. And so I think guys will be ready to go, and knowing that we all got to play our best if we want to find a way to win.
Matt? Patrick, you played a few of these Super Bowl rematches now. How are they different, than a regular game, especially playing one this early in the season?
I think you know the opponent. Even with the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl before and the games we've played in the regular seasons, we know that this is a really good football team, and we know that they have a lot of great football players. And so when you play the best of the best, you have to take your game to another level. And so it's not different in a sense of it's a Super Bowl rematch or anything like that. I think it's just different in the sense that you're playing the best of the best. And so how are you going to respond? How are you going to be even better and take your game to another level? And so I always think it's fun, playing the best and getting to see where you're at.
Speaking, how have you seen
like this?
I think if you're playing your first game at Arrowhead against the reigning Super Bowl champions, there's got to be some extra juice. I mean, it's our first home game. I'm sure it'll be a cool flyover. You get everything you need, so there's no reason you should come out flat this game.
We'll go last few. Nick, you're up first.
Patrick, there in the second half on a handful of those drives there, it seems like you locked in a way to where it didn't matter the circumstance, situation, the play call. You're taking over this game, and you're going to make it happen. Where does that mindset come from, and how do you lock in?
I think you just know you have to score whenever you're playing good football teams, and you're down. You have to make the play now. So you take a little bit more risk. You do a little bit different things you might not do early in the game, and so it's about finding that earlier. So that we don't get in that deficit. And so I just like winning. So whenever you're not winning, it's like sometimes you focus in even more because you want to try to find a way to do whatever you can to win.
Generally speaking, just considering how big this game feels and what happened last game, just how do you feel like your guys' temperament is just going into such a game?
Yeah, I think guys are definitely locked in. I mean, I thought that we were locked in last week. So I mean, we have a lot of leaders in this team, guys that don't like losing, and it's about finding a way now of bringing that energy, bringing that right mindset, so that we could play our best football. And thought we did good things in the second half on the offensive side of the ball this last week. But how can we be even better to start the game and carry that through the entire game?
Last two, Sam and then Nate.
But you didn't get a lot of reps with Hollywood in training camp or preseason. Just wondered how that came out and just the benefit of how much you played with them in week one for what will be moving forward now.
Yeah, I think you saw in the game. I think Hollywood just kind of got more and more comfortable as the game went on, and we asked him to do a lot of things. He kind of had to run his routes, Xavier's routes, and kind of all the in between. And so I thought he did a good job of recognizing what he needed to do, recognizing coverages, and making plays happen. And so he'll be big these next couple of weeks as we try to get Xavier back and how to get Rasheed back and everything like that. But it's something I think he's ready for.
Last one, Nate.
Two questions real quick, Pat. I know you have shown more physicality recently in games. Is that something that you actually trained in order to show off more this season? And do you feel like you have to be aggressive maybe because of the way teams might view how you move or how you operate near the sideline?
Yeah, I mean, I always brace for impact. I mean, I think that you have to protect yourself. But I think in this last game, I think we just needed the yards. We needed this. We needed the ways to score the football, especially at that time in the game. And that's why I think people highlighted the one that I got hit on the side, but I really wasn't running out of bounds really the whole second half. And so it's a long season, so I'll try to get back to running out of bounds as much as possible. But that's stuff that I usually do in the playoffs. So I'm just gonna try to manage that throughout the season so I can be there for the playoffs.